Hello guys, welcome to Manny's Reef, this fun reefer. Have you ever walked into a fish store and see all these beautiful tanks and now your mind is like blown away because you don't know which one to take? Well, today I'm going to show you different types of fish tanks, and then you can be able to like narrow down which one is best for you. Without wasting much time, let's dive right into it. So you have different types of fish tanks here. The size of the fish tank will depend on the size of the space that you have for it. But you have a Pico tank, which is like a very small tank. You have the Nano tanks. You have medium size tanks. You have large size tanks, and then you have like the monster tanks, right? All right. So the Pico tanks are tanks that are usually between anything less than 5 gallons. A 5 gallon tank and less is called a Pico tank. Those tanks are really small. A nano tank is anything that's above 5 gallons but less than 30 gallons. Or medium sized tank is anything that is more than 30 gallon but less than 180 gallons. The large tanks are tanks that anything that is above 180 gallons but less than 1,000 gallons. And then my favorite tanks, the monster tanks. The monster tanks are tanks that are 1,000 gallons and above. Let me tell you, let's go through the different types of tanks and what each types of tanks represent, right? So the Pico tank, let's start with the Pico tank. Pico tanks are very inny binny, small little tanks. They're good for like office space, desk space. If you don't have, if you have like a small room, like your bedroom on your nightstand, they're all small little 2 gallons, 3 gallons. A lot of people have Pico tanks and like are really artistic. So you can Google Pico tanks and you see like different types of beautiful Pico tanks, and people know how to like just put the right decorations. The thing with Pico tanks is because they're so small, you can only put certain size of corals in it. Or say you can only get for a gallon, 5 gallons, probably a very small fish, but then it's just too small for that fish. You want to get fishes that don't like to swim swim a lot. You want to get fishes that stay small. um you can get inverts like your crabs, your snails. You can get all kind of crabs. um yeah, you can get just little things, but then you have to be mindful of the kind of coral that you put in your Pico tank. um if you're gonna put SPS, for instance, you have to keep up with pruning because SPS grow big. They can grow big, so you want to keep up with pruning. Usually people put like zoan seeds because it's really small and just spread out. GSP are good because it stays small but it spreads out. You just, whatever you put in there, you have to keep pruning because corals in general have a tendency to grow really large. Now let's talk about nano tanks. Nano tanks, like we said earlier, it's tanks that are less than 30 gallons. Now if you have a 10 gallon, 20 gallons, now your options are bigger than the Pico tank. So you want to look into like certain fishes like still smaller fishes like the goby or mandarin goby or the firefish. Those are good small fishes that I can think of out back. Fire goby, shrimps, and shrimps are good for Pico tanks too. So these are things that you want to put in a nano tank. Your corals, you want to put something like a mushroom, but then keep in mind a mushroom, they grow really fast and they can overtake your tank, so you have to keep up with pruning. What else you can put? You can put some SPS, but again SPS can grow big, so you have to keep up with pruning. Next you have the medium tanks, which is tanks that are above 30 gallons, 30 gallons, 35, 40, 75, 90 gallons, 100 gallons, 120, up all the way up to 180. So yeah, your medium tanks give you more leverage. Now you can go into bigger fishes like But then it still depends on what size of medium tank you have. So if you have a 30-gallon, you can put a baby tank, but that tank will outgrow that tank in a couple of months. So it's not really advisable to put a tank in a small tank because tanks get big. So you want to look at the fishes that you want to get, and then you want to see if those fishes will match the tank that you want. What I do is I see the fishes that I want, or I see what livestock that I want, and then I get a tank that matches that livestock's lifestyle, right? So if I want, like for instance, I've always wanted a sailfin tank, and I know they'll do better in bigger tanks, so I can put them in my tank because I have a 75-gallon. I know people do it, but it's not ideal. They grow big and it will just be torture to the fish. I don't want that. I want my fishes to have the best of life and to live as happy, if not happier, than they would if when they were in the ocean. And let's move on to large tanks. Large tanks goes from 180 gallons all the way up, to 1,000 gallons. Now with large tanks, you have a bigger or broader options. Now you can be going to bigger fishes, bigger tanks, angel fishes. If you want to keep corals, you can go big. And then now you have the monster tanks. The monster tanks are 1,000 gallons and up. People have like the ocean in their home, but it's amazing though. I saw this video of someone who, to clean his tank, have to go scuba diving. Imagine that, going scuba diving in your own home. Dope, that's awesome. So 1,000 gallon is amazing. And up people have like 5,000 gallons, 2,000 gallons, and it's just incredible how big you can go in this hobby. All right, so that's it about different tank sizes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell so you get notification of every videos every week that comes out, and follow us on Facebook at FunReefer. Also follow us on Instagram at FunReefer, YouTube here at FunReefer. Remember, FunReefer is 4N Reefer. I'll catch you in the next video. Stay blessed.